Hey, in this video today, I'm going to share with you how to upload, publish, and deliver your lead magnet for your new email subscribers, especially for your service business. I'm going to cover three key points in here. The first point is about how to prepare your files in terms of the format. The second is about how to upload and publish this ready for sharing. And the third point is about delivery, automatic delivery to be more specific. And I'm going to cover one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making at this step. You want to make sure you avoid that, so pay attention to that step. Now, I have a free cheat sheet that I'm going to give you inside a link in the description. This covers my email marketing automation system. You can go ahead, download that, see an overview of how I do things overall, and also get some additional tips and resources there as well. Now, let's jump into the video. So step number one is talking about how to prepare the file. Now, this depends on the type of lead magnet you have. That determines then the file format that you need to have in order to distribute your lead magnet. So let's talk about documents. Documents in terms of something that's a written document like a Google Doc or a Word document, I recommend using a PDF format to save that as. So if you're using something like Google Docs, you can go to the file menu and go to download and then go to PDF, and that will export that file in a PDF format, which then is not editable by the recipient. Unless that's something obviously you want them to do if you want to share that file as being editable. Now, then I have another category of file types called special file types, which is referring to program specific file types. For example, design programs, Photoshop files, for example, comes as a PSD file. Maybe you want to share a template, a design layout with your audience, and this is then a special file type. What I recommend for this is that you put the file inside a zip folder. Now, a zip folder is where you can essentially right click on a Mac, for example, on the file and say compress, and then that turns it into a .zip file, and it makes it easier to upload and distribute that way. The same thing, you can do it on a Windows machine. I don't have access to one right now to check the exact way to do it, but pretty much every operating system I know of, including mobile operating systems, can do zip folders or zip files. So if you have multiple file types or a bundle of the same type of files, you would put them in a zip folder. And one thing I forgot to add on here is if you have something like a video, let's say you're doing a training video, I would export this as an MP4, which is pretty much the standard across the board and the easiest kind of file format to play back on multiple devices. Step two is about uploading and publishing your file. So what you want to do is get it on a online storage or somewhere where you can actually get a shareable public link that then can be distributed. So the first option is going to be your website. Now, be careful with this one. The only thing that I recommend that you put on your website are PDFs that are really small. Everything else, I think, you should be using one of the other options. But in terms of your website, it depends on the platform that you're on for your website. Let's say you're on a WordPress website like I am. There's a media section where you can upload your images and other file types like PDFs. So you could upload it there, and then you'll have a link there to that specific file, and that is something that's accessible to the public. If you're on another platform where you are allowed to upload to the website directly, you can do that as well. Otherwise, one of the other options, or this next option, would be much better. This is the option that I use primarily here, which is cloud storage or a cloud service. So we're talking about something like a Dropbox, Google Drive, or OneDrive, pCloud. So you can use any one of those. They allow you to provide shareable links publicly, so then you can distribute that so anyone with a link can access the file and view or download the file. The next option here is for videos, specifically where you want to actually host that on a dedicated video host. There are a number of reasons for that. One is that video hosts Video hosting platforms are designed for delivering videos streaming wise, or well, normally you don't want people to download the video, they're going to be streaming it online, so they're optimized for that, so you're not going to get as much buffering and stuff like that. You can technically upload a video to your website, but again, going back to the first thing that I said, this is not something I recommend because video files are quite large. They can take up a lot of space, and you can run out of space on your plan if you have a specific amount of space available to you on your website. Plus, your website servers are not optimized for delivering video in terms of streaming, and it can put a load on your website and cause things to slow down. So you want to avoid that for that reason. So hosts that are available, there are many different video hosting platforms out there. YouTube is actually a video host, believe it or not. You could actually upload your video to YouTube and then get a link to that video directly that you could use for embedding or for sharing directly for viewing on YouTube. It's not the cleanest way to do it because YouTube is designed to actually share other videos and so on, so people will see other videos popping up when they're watching your video as recommended, etc. If you want something a bit more clean, then I meant to type Vimeo here. Vimeo is a platform, I think I've spelled that right, that is a paid, well, I think they have a free plan as well, but to get the most out of it, you will need a paid plan. I've used them in the past. I don't currently use Vimeo, but they allow you to upload files and host them directly with a cleaner look. And they have a really good player that you can embed on multiple places online on your website, etc. What I currently use is Tela. Tela is an alternative to Vimeo. It does a similar kind of thing. I pretty much upload my private videos there that I use for my online community, and for some of my training videos that I want to deliver as a lead magnet, I put them there as well. This is a paid service, but it is very cost effective, and it's worth the plans there are very reasonable with what they charge for it. So step 3 in the process is automatic delivery. The last thing you want to do is to be manually sending people the link to your files when they request it via your email sign up. I mean, when you first start out, you might be able to get away with doing that sometimes when you don't have that many signups, but it's not something that's scalable, and people are going to have to wait for you to be able to do that manually. So you want to do this automatically, and the only way you can do this automatically is to have some sort of email marketing application that you're using to actually deliver your lead magnets, or to do your email marketing, or it could be a CRM or a combination of both, right? So whichever one you sign up to, which you will need to have one anyway to grow your email list, they will, by standard, as a standard, have a way for you to trigger an automation to send out an email once someone signed up to your list and confirmed. So when it comes to PDFs or zip folders or files, what you want to do is get the public link from the online storage that goes directly to the file. And depending on the storage that you use, there's different ways to actually share the files. Sometimes you can share it to a specific person with an email address, but you want to avoid that, like in Google Drive, for example. What you want to do is you want to share it to be viewable by anyone with the link. So make sure you select that right option and you test it in an incognito window, browser window where you're not signed in. That way you can see that, okay, if someone goes to that link, that any person can actually download or view the link. In terms of the videos, for video trainings, etc., what you want to do is create a delivery page and embed the video directly into it. Or you could also do a direct link to the hosting platform. Like I mentioned, Tela before, they actually have a dedicated hosted page for each video that I share. So people can just go to that video and watch it, but it's on the Tela platform. Whereas if you want to keep people on your website and keep them within your ecosystem, having a special page that you embed that on, that no one else can see or find unless you send it to them, is the way to go, that you can control the experience there a bit better. Now, in terms of how you share the link to either the delivery page or to the file itself, you want to make sure you put the link inside the email. This is really, really important. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing or making is that they redirect automatically from the sign up form to the file or to the delivery page. So as soon as someone submits the form, they get the thing that they asked for. What you want to do is get people to go into their email and interact with you via the email by confirming that they want to actually get the thing that they asked for and join your email list. This is something I recommend as a double opt-in to do that, because that way you get people that are actually serious. Sometimes if you don't do that, what happens is, if you don't do that, people will actually get the thing they asked for right after the form gets submitted, and they don't bother checking their email, they don't bother confirming their email, and then they never join your email list. And that's the whole point of you giving this lead magnet away, or giving whatever incentive, whether you offer for them to join your newsletter, etc. You want them on your list as a confirmed person. So make sure you put the link in the email and not do a redirect. You can redirect to a thank you page, but that should send them to their email. That should say, hey, check your email. I've just sent you some information on how to get the file. Now, of course, when someone joins your email list and gets your lead magnet, you're going to want to make sure you follow up with them with a nurturing sequence. Watch this next video that I've got on screen right now that walks you through exactly how I do it and the strategy behind it. And I'll see you in that one.